From my experience, video game fan theories can be a bit hit or miss. There's definitely some theories out there that are near baseless conjecture, grasping onto oddities, little details in a game, and just running with it, while ignoring contradicting facts. But then there are others where I think it's evident the developers intentionally left some breadcrumbs that may actually point to some deeper, more profound revelation. And since it's been a minute since we last checked out a theory on this series, I think it's time we check out one of the most popular theories in one of the most iconic series of all time. The TetraForce theory from The Legend of Zelda. TetraForce, not Triforce, TetraForce, that's right, implying that there is a fourth piece of the Triforce. TetraForce, whatever. Sounds ridiculous, right? The series has been around for 35 years now. Could there really be such a giant secret about one of the most famous fictional relics of all time? So let's see if the TetraForce theory has any merit, or if it's all just a Tetra farce, right? The Tetra farce. How many triangles do you see? Kind of a classic trick question. If we're talking about the typical depiction of the Triforce, yes, there's 3 gold triangles. But obviously there's the vacant space in between, an inverted triangle. Then of course the larger triangle as a whole that's made up of the smaller triangles. So I guess the answer would be there's 5 triangles in total, but the shape as a whole is made up of 4 smaller triangles. Not exactly a lot to base this theory on its own, but it certainly is an important observation for the TetraForce theory. The idea behind the TetraForce first gained traction with the release of the Ocarina of Time. Again, this theory's been around for a while. The Hylian shield, a very prominent item in the game, even featured in the game's logo, has an image of the Triforce in the top part of the shield. However, near the bottom section of the shield, that's right, a 4th gold triangle, inverted no less, as if it were to fit right in the middle of the other 3. What does it mean?
I want to know.
While the games in the Zelda series are all quite different yet the same, the overarching themes are consistent. A lot of things come in 3s. First, obviously, the Triforce, which represent courage, power, and wisdom, which are possessed by the series' 3 main characters: Link, Ganondorf, and of course Zelda. These also correlate to the 3 golden goddesses, Faroor, Din, and Nehru, which are associated with the colors green, red, and blue. So, 3s seem to be an ongoing theme in the Zelda series. But what about the number 4? Let's start with Twilight Princess, where there are 4 godlike entities called light spirits: Faron, Eldin, and Lanayru, which clearly all relate to one of the golden goddesses mentioned earlier, but there's also a 4th, called Ordona. Each of these light spirits reside at a shrine in a province named after them. In Majora's Mask, the land of Termina is made up of 4 different regions, which are guarded by 4 deities, the 4 giants. There's also a great fairy in each of these 4 regions, one for courage, one for power, one for wisdom, and one for kindness? This has even led some to believe that the 4th piece of the Triforce is the Triforce of Kindness. Then of course there's Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, where there are 4 Links, one in green, red, blue, and finally one in purple. So as prevalent as the number 3 is in Zelda, 4 is also a significant number in the series. Pretty interesting, right? But if there is a 4th piece of the Triforce, TetraForce, whatever, it raises a lot of questions. What goddess does this piece represent? And most importantly, who wields it? The community has no shortage of speculation with answers to these questions. So let's first start off with the goddess. Twilight Princess, of course, introduced the light spirit Ordona and a new region, the Ordona province. And as I mentioned earlier, the other light spirits have ties to Faroor, Din, and Nehru. Ordona is kind of an unknown quantity. There is speculation that Faroor is actually represented by 2 light spirits, Faron and Ordona. But we don't know for sure. Twilight Princess seems to be a bit of an outlier, and Ordona doesn't make an appearance in any other Zelda game. Fan speculation also extended to the 4th goddess being the goddess of the sand, a deity worshipped by the Gerudo, Hylia, and even Zelda herself. In Wind Waker, Zelda has her true identity hidden for a large chunk of the game, where she was going by the name Tetra. Pretty on the nose, right? Maybe. As for who possesses the fourth piece, there are a fair share of baseless theories out there, but the most popular answer is the character Vati, who first appeared in Four Swords and then again in the Minish Cap, where he served as the game's main villain. Vati's motivation in the game is to steal the Light Force, which Zelda possessed. But even though the Light Force is shown as being a gold triangle, it is actually a completely separate thing from the Triforce. But of course, this hasn't stopped fans from theorizing that the Light Force is indeed the fourth piece. Also, the fact that Vati is rocking a purple color scheme has only added more fuel to this theory. It's kind of assumed that whoever possessed the fourth piece would be a villain, seeing as how the number 4 in Japan means death. So, TetraForce, is it real or is it a TetraFarce? Look, I'm not here to debate the validity of the TetraForce theory. I'm not here to debunk it and spoil everyone's fun. Nintendo has already done that for us. You don't need to research a whole lot online to find numerous statements saying that Nintendo has officially debunked this theory. Now, here's the thing. I absolutely believe that Nintendo would squash the fan speculation on a theory such as this, but I cannot, for the life of me, find an official source to corroborate this. I couldn't find a video, an article, nothing. Only recycled claims on forums and such that Nintendo has debunked it. So, make of that what you will. What is clear as day, though, is after the Ocarina of Time, where this theory first originated, the Hylian shield's design was changed, and it no longer had a fourth golden triangle. So, do I think that the TetraForce is real? No, I don't. But I do still think the missing piece in the center of the Triforce has been alluded to in some way, but just not in the form of a fourth piece, but rather the absence of a piece, where it kind of looks like there's something there, but really there isn't. It's like a shadow. In the Ocarina of Time, clearing the Shadow Temple earns the player the Shadow Medallion, a purple artifact which bears the symbol of an inverted triangle. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Deep Cuts. This theory obviously has been talked about to death. It's been around for a very long time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And of course, check out the Deep Cuts playlist if you want stories similar to this one. Let me know what you thought about it. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching this one, guys. Peace.